I question her judgment, yeah. I mean, I cashed in my 401k for $20,000. I have the money to pay for the wedding, so, girl up.
Oh, no.
If I want to be with someone for money, obviously don't gonna to be him.
Is age really just a number, or are these couples going to have a lot of clashes because of their age gaps? We're gonna be talking about Love in Paradise episode 5, Wake Up Call. And it really does seem like everyone here needs a wake-up call. Some more than others, but that's what we're gonna get into. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about the season, about the cast members, and let's get it going. First off, we're gonna be starting with Madeline and Luke. After Madeline discovered that Sugar Daddy Luke is now Broke Boy Luke,
She gets in these moods. She's been sulking.
she is giving him the cold shoulder and refusing to even look at him. Now they are back at the apartment and Luke realizes that Madeline is still very upset. So he's going to give her some time to relax and he's going to have some drinks with his friend Brian, who is also an American. They met through Madeline because he is dating her best friend. So there are probably a lot of get-togethers with them. And as they're talking to each other, Brian gives him a gift, his sunglasses, and right away, Luke tells Brian that there's a problem. He paid with his 401k. Brian is like, how much money did you spend? And we already know that. But he also tells him that Madeline is mad at him because he didn't consult her and he lied about many other things. Brian is like, wow, have you noticed that you are more concerned about the money because of what she might be thinking? Do you think that things will be different if you didn't have money? Luke says that it could be better, but he knows that Madeline loves him for who he is, not just the money.
I feel that she's not in it for the money.
Sure, look, whatever you want to say. And Brian is also wondering how he's letting a 19-year-old control what he does with his money. And yes, how is this 30-something-year-old man allowing a 19-year-old to dictate what he does and doesn't do with his money?
Because of Maddie's age or her temper or just how stubborn she is, oftentimes I'll think twice about bringing anything up just because her first reaction is oftentimes very explosive.
Wow, you're surprised that your 19-year-old girlfriend has now learned how to deal with her emotions? Even though he's afraid, let's really think about this for a second. The moment that Luke told Maddie that he had no job, she hugged him and told him, we'll get through this together. Then he told her, I pulled my 401k, and even though she was upset, she understood and got mad at him for not telling her. And finally, when we decide to tell her about him not being able to stay here in Colombia, she gets upset because she doesn't want to be by herself. How is she supposed to react? Like, genuinely tell me how she's supposed to react. Brian then tells him, if you're going to get married, you need to get a bulletproof prenup to make sure that you protect yourself. And Luke tells us that even though he's lost all his money in his 401k, he still wants a prenup because he bought this investment property that he rents out to tourists here in Colombia, and he's afraid that he's going to lose what little he has. The next day, Madeline and Luke have not said a word to one another, but they still have to work together since someone is going to be staying at the rental property. He also keeps thinking about the prenup, but he knows that this is not a time to bring it up. And as they're cleaning the route, you can clearly tell that Madeline does not want to be there. She's barely putting any effort into sweeping around. She's barely putting any effort into doing anything. But the moment that she asked him how many days this person is staying for, and he tells her the amount that they're going to be paying, which is $1,900, Madeline gets this little smile on her face. It's like the moment that they start talking about money, her whole mannerism changes. And she even asks him, if this place is full all the time, would that mean that you can move here? And Luke says yes, which again makes her very happy. Have you guys noticed that when she's upset, she kind of talks to him like a baby, and Luke also does the same thing?
Okay, baby, let's have a good day today, okay?
Here's the thing. He talks to her like, let's make sure that we're going to control our emotions today. And it makes me think of when I talk to my kids and I tell them, calm down, let's not get crazy, let's control our emotions and stuff like that. Eventually she tells him, I don't want to talk about money today because we are gonna go see my family. And she does not want to bring it up over there. On their way there, Luke shares that his mom is Mexican, and
For the first 4 years of my life, we only spoke Spanish at home.
but the moment that he enters school, they became an English-only household. And now he's really happy to talk to Madeline's family in Spanish because now everything is coming back to him. Madeline shares that when she was little, her father was not present and her mom had to work a lot. So she was raised by her grandma and her aunt. Now is tamales time. And quick little side note, tamales de hoja de plátano are the best in the world. You guys need to try them. But back to grandma. She's like, I'm making tamales for the wedding while looking at Luke. And Madeline starts saying how excited she is about the wedding. She's gonna have an outdoor ceremony, a hall for the reception, a violin, a piano, 3 dresses, a bunch of things. And I'm just like, why do you need 3 dresses, girl? Luke is pissing his pants because he cannot comprehend how Madeline continues to bring this up. And grandma and her aunt are just asking him questions. When is the wedding gonna happen? When is the wedding? Yes, Luke, the wedding. Did you guys have a date? Do you guys have something? Do you guys have this? And they're noticing that Luke is nervous. He does not know what to say. He does not know what to do because they talked about this earlier and they said that they wouldn't bring up the money conversation. And it's impossible to give the family an answer when you can't even talk about money. That is the main reason. What I did think was ridiculous was the fact that Madeline at no point stepped up, at least help him get out of the conversation. It's like she purposely wanted him to be stuck in that situation where he was just cornered by her family. Luke also feels like this is a manipulation tactic. He's nervous and he thinks that Madeline is doing this on purpose because she wants to have this amazing wedding. And he's like, nope, I'm not budging. We said we wouldn't talk about money, so I'm going to keep quiet.
I have the money to pay for the wedding, so, grow up.
Maybe you should grow the up. Or why don't you go find someone your own age? So even though they just talked about how money is the big issue and how they don't have it, guess what they're about to do? I'll give you a second so you can guess. They are on their way to go look at the wedding venue. Yes, a wedding venue. And even though Luke doesn't want to go and Luke feels like this is not a good idea, he's still letting Madeline take him to this wedding venue. You're the adult, aren't you? Shouldn't you be able to tell her, we are not gonna go? But it really goes to show that you will let a 19-year-old control your life and tell you what to do and not to do with it.
He really needs to show me some security. Planning the wedding needs to show me the relationship is evolving.
I would want to be secure in some other way, but we all have different priorities. And for Madeline, and this is hers. Luke then asks the woman there how much it would be for the venue. And that alone is going to be $5,000. That does not include anything extra. So anything extra that they might want can cost around $2,000 for every single one. He does the math in his head and he realizes that this wedding is going to cost them around $20,000.
Madeline needs to wake up. She really does.
I just think it's funny how this man constantly talks about her growing up, waking up, acting more mature, but he picked her. What was he expecting? So they go sit down and Luke tells her, mi amor, I cannot afford this wedding. And Madeline right away says that he is ruining this day. Girl, he's going to ruin your life. And then Luke says on his confessional that this is probably an age thing. Tell me something I didn't know, Luke.
This is exactly why I need a prenup. I question her judgment, yeah. I mean...
Aw, look at that. You're acting like the decision of liquidating your 401k was something a person with good judgment would have done. Now, Luke finally tells her about the prenup and she's pissed. We got another Jasmine in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. She starts telling him, you don't trust me, you worry about the monies, I don't want to be with someone that doesn't trust me.
If I want to be with someone for money, obviously don't gonna to be him.
Oh, please. Let's be honest. You got with this man because he had money. That was your introduction to the show. And in regards to Luke, what is he expecting? I have a feeling that even though the apartment is Luke's, Madeline has been the one taking care of it. in making sure that it stays afloat. I might be giving her a lot of credit, but let me know what you guys think. Also, I'm also getting this feeling that Luke knew how he would be perceived in the show and purposely got with someone young so we would talk about him. But let's move on. Now let's go check on Bio Kyle and Anika. Last time she called him out on his God complex while he evaded all questioning. She's now telling the cameras that it's finally hitting her that Kyle never gives her a clear answer. She says, you know, if you love someone, you make sacrifices. And we know that that's not something Kyle can do or is willing to do. Back with Kyle, he says that in a perfect world, she would just accept him. In a perfect world, you wouldn't exist, Kyle. But here we are talking about you.
If you're honest, you're trustworthy, and you talk to me about it, then it's fine donating.
But that's the issue. You have not been honest with her or anyone else that you have ever donated to. When Anika goes back, she tells him that she would usually not cry, but she has feelings for him. He says it hurts him that Anika won't accept something that he loves so much and that he's willing to make some sacrifices. But would you guys like to guess what he says? I'll give you a minute. He says that he can allow Anika to pick the woman that he donates to.
I am willing to make some compromises, though. Maybe Annie gets to choose who I donate to.
Anika is crying and apologizing, and it really makes you wonder if this is worth it. Is a man like Kyle worth the tears and the sacrifices of her core values? And let's not forget that she has a child. If Kyle enters the life of this child, it would do more harm than good, in my opinion. What do you guys think? And then Anika, when she says that she loves Luke, how can you love a man that you just met? Like, you just met him. And there's so many things that you guys still need to talk about, and you're gonna just overlook all of those things just because you feel like you love him, which I don't think she does, but maybe that's what she's feeling right now.
I see so much potential in Kyle and what we could make out of this relationship.
What potential are you talking about? Are we looking at the same person? Because at the moment, the only potential that I see is him going to prison. As I have mentioned before, Aliyah's and Shawn's relationship bother me in my previous videos, but something that really sticks out to me is who Aliyah is becoming. It is a big part of her character this season and how she's a stronger individual ever since she started her transition. Now, Aliyah has decided to give Shawn some space after yesterday's conversation, and she's going out with her bestie, Jackie. This is the first time that Jackie is seeing her as Aliyah. She then asks her how Shawn feels about her being Aliyah, and she shares what happened at dinner in the words that he used to describe her.
Those are like qualities that are easily manipulated type of qualities.
Just like me in the last recap, she wonders if Shawn is worried about her becoming too outspoken or if he's still going to love her after the transition. Once they get off the boat, Jackie asks her if she's thinking of any permanent changes.
I think I want to take off the fat off my belly and put on my butt and make it more round.
Okay.
Which is something that Shawn also needs to consider. Because I understand where he's coming from. If your partner is transitioning and you never saw yourself with a woman or vice versa, you are allowed to leave the relationship. Just do it gracefully. Now we are off to the beach with all of Aliyah's friends, and here is where her childhood best friend shares that when they used to play superheroes, Aliyah's power was to shine. This strikes a chord with Shawn as he doesn't want to be the villain of this story and take Aliyah's shine away. Aliyah follows up with a speech to say goodbye to all the prejudice, the heartbreak, and the sadness that once was Douglas.
This is our future, and I either need to get on board or let go of both Aliyah and Douglas.
Breaking, yes, Shawn. When we got introduced to this story, me and my husband talked about how this would be a beautiful story if Shawn just gets it together and stops bringing up Douglas. And here he is, proving that he can be compassionate and understanding.
Tchau, Douglas. Você foi a minha base, mas está na hora de eu voar.
I was genuinely crying so much for this scene. This is the definition of real support and love. Even if at the end of the day, Shawn decides that he cannot be with her, I can totally see these two breaking up because they are in different places, but moving on with love and grace. Now, like Nikki Faces Reality said, Alex is still incredibly stigmatized. She has been arguing non-stop about religion, racism, threesomes, and many more things. And now she wants to have some girl time and forget about all of this. She meets up with her cousin to take a pottery class. And as soon as they sit down, you can see the clay turn into something very familiar, like Tiffany said.
I didn't know clay could be that. I didn't know it could be that freaky.
I genuinely want to hang out with Tiffany. She has become one of my favorites, always asking the right questions. Then Tiffany turns around and she's like, this was some freaky stuff. And speaking of freaks, how is your Flavio doing?
How is Fabio?
And she tells her that even though they had a great time making pizza yesterday, the moment they started having a conversation about religion, that's when things took a turn. Because he's unable to comprehend her beliefs, but she has been dating him for a year, knowing all of this, you know, knowing this was an issue. And at the moment, it doesn't look like she's dating him to date him or to just have a little fling. It looks like she's dating him to want to marry him. So that's definitely a problem. Alex also tells her that when she has shared her experiences as a Black woman to Adriano, he tells her to suck it up. Tiffany makes this face like the audacity of this man.
He has to love her. He has to wipe her tears away, kiss her tears away. And if he's not doing that, I don't like.
Yes, girl. It is frustrating to see this man dismiss her feelings. It's such an important conversation. And the fact that this is something he has done many times shows that he doesn't want to or is willing to take the time to inform himself on why Alex has those experiences. Tiffany then asks her, do you think you're just liking the lust of it, or is it real love?
I do believe there is really love.
Even though she wants to lie to herself, the lust part of this relationship is bigger than the love part. Like, is the sex really that good that she can't see the clear red flags coming out of Adriano?
Do you feel like you have to give it a chance? Maybe you're trying to make this relationship work because of...
Tiffany, again, just asking the right questions. Because now even Alex is sharing that she has this pressure on her shoulders of the clock ticking because she's already 30. And at this time in her life, she had already seen herself being married, having kids. But Tiffany tells her,
you do know if you keep spending time with the wrong person, the right person won't come.
And she's so right. Imagine moving to Australia, getting pregnant by him, and then him dumping you because he wants more threesomes, or having constant fights with him because of religion and race. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you guys find the age gaps concerning? Is Alex really being stigmatized? Is Shawn being allowed to mourn Douglas? Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Your support means so much to me. You guys have no idea. Every time you guys comment, every time you guys like, when you guys share the video, it helps my channel reach more people. So I really appreciate it. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, you can also buy me a coffee. I would put the link down and below. I was also thinking about starting a member section, but I'm not sure about that yet. What I want to do is look into Patreon, because I think what we can do there is have like live streams for certain shows that I'm not able to make videos out of, but maybe we could watch together, like MILF Banner. We can do I know Sister Wives is already like halfway through, but maybe we can do that one. We can do Love After Lockup and other things of that matter. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. I will see you guys next week with another 90 Day Fiancé video. Bye.